Hello friends, welcome to the Engineering Funda family. This is my first video, which is based on the Internet of Things. Here I'm going to discuss the introduction to IoT. Let's begin this session with the first agenda, which is IoT in general. See, IoT stands for Internet of Things. So in IoT, we will interface things with the Internet. Look, the Internet is a kind of computer network. You can say it like that. Where there are servers and computers, the computers will use the internet to access data from the servers. First, let me explain to you what the internet is, and then I will give you some examples of IoT. So here, when you talk about the internet, we connect to it using many devices. For example, we connect using tablets, mobile phones, and computers. See, these are the devices that users have, and users access services from the internet through servers, right? So with the use of servers, there can be many types of applications. For example, you might have an email service application, a banking application, a music application, a video application, or a shopping application, right? So here, these are the applications on the server that are available with different companies, and users can access these services through the internet using their devices. But in IoT, we have even more types of applications. Here, what we will do is use some sensor devices. Then the sensor devices will sense some data. That data will be uploaded to the internet, and any user can access that data from the internet to optimize any application. Let me give you some examples. For instance, here I am taking the first example of a smartwatch. That's why in a smartwatch, you must have seen various data like heart rate, how many steps are taken each day, how many calories are burned daily. All of this data can be uploaded to the internet in real time, and the user can gain relevant insights. They can know exactly what actual data they should have so that they can optimize their performance in daily life. Let me give you a few more examples. Now I'll take another example of a car. If you add some sensors to the car, you can monitor the car's speed. You can also monitor the car's location. You can monitor how much fuel is left in the car. So without going inside the car, you can obtain all that data using IoT. Here, these sensors will measure all the data and upload it to the internet, allowing the user to access that data from anywhere. Let me give you a few more examples. For instance, here we have a factory, and there can be many types of operations in a factory, like vigilance control. We need fault detection. We can also use robotics. So all this data can be uploaded to the internet. By using this with the IoT application, we can optimize the factory's performance. Now I'll take another example. Here, I'll take the example of a smart home. So in a smart home, we might have a television, we might have a fridge, we might have a security system. So the data from all these devices can be uploaded to the internet, and the user can access that information from the internet. For example, if a person is staying here in India and their home is in Canada, that person can see what's happening with the devices inside the home in real time. For instance, a person can view the security cameras from anywhere. The person can check the current status of the fridge, TV, and many other devices, right? Now, I am going to explain the importance of IoT to you. So what will I do here? I will take a relatable scenario. So without IoT, let me consider a scenario where I take the example of a farm. So here, without IoT, we have a farm, and in that farm, we have a lot of resources. Without IoT, right, the control will be manual control without IoT. So according to manual control, we will need more resources. Without IoT, it takes more time, and along with that, there is also a decrease in farm yield. Now, to optimize our resources, we can use IoT, Internet of Things, through which we can optimize many parameters. Let me show you a scenario where we will use the same farm with IoT system. So if you have a sensor that monitors soil moisture, then at that time, the soil moisture sensor can connect to Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi will send that data to the internet, allowing the user to access that data from anywhere. Look here. Once that data is available on the internet, we can control many things. For example, if the moisture in the given soil is low, we can turn on the valve, allowing us to control the soil's moisture, right? Here we can also keep historical data. So see here, the person doesn't need to go to the farm to control all these things. There is no need for manual control. By using smart devices, anyone can directly control all the parameters of the farm. So here you will save some resources, right? Because with manual control, you might waste water. You will also waste time. Whereas here, you will save time. You will increase farm yield and also save costs. The reason is that these IoT sensors and IoT devices are no longer that costly. Now I'm going to explain some definitions of IoT to you. See, IoT means Internet of Things, in which we interface things with the internet, and through this we optimize resources, right? We save time for humans. But still, there are some definitions that I would like to explain to you here. So the first definition states that IoT is a network of physical objects or things. Here, IoT is a network of objects. It's not just that you are controlling a single device, rather it is a network of multiple devices. For example, you will have data about what is happening in Gujarat and what is happening in Maharashtra, and all of this will be based on location. Here, what could be the best suitable solution for a given problem that someone can identify here, right? So here, there will be a network of objects, and this is exactly what we are achieving through the use of embedded devices, right? And we can do this using electronic software sensors. And we are connecting all of these to the internet, which enables these objects to collect and exchange data. Let me show you some more definitions. IoT allows objects to be remotely sensed and controlled through existing network infrastructure, creating more opportunities for direct integration between the physical world and computer-based systems. This results in improvements in terms of efficiency, accuracy, and economic benefits. So our agenda here is to improve the efficiency of objects. All right, so with the use of the Internet of Things, we can control many things from anywhere. That means it's not necessary for you to be physically present at that location. You can control all those things using IoT, right? There are some other definitions as well, such as how you view things in the context of IoT. This can refer to various types of devices, such as heart monitors, implantable fields, biochips on animals, transponders, electric cars in coastal waters, automobiles with built-in sensors, DNA analysis devices for environmental, food, and pathogen monitoring, or field operation devices that are available for firefighters in search and rescue operations. So this is the variety of applications that are listed, from which you can understand how important IoT is in the current world. For the right reason, you can monitor many things from anywhere. If we talk about another definition, it states that devices collect useful data with the help of various existing technologies, and then that data autonomously flows between other devices. Right? So you also have a relative comparison available in front of you, and that comparison can be optimized using algorithms as well. In short, with the use of IoT, you can obtain the best possible solution to any problem. Now I'm going to explain the A, B, C, D of IoT to you. So A stands for applications. In applications, you can have smart homes. You can have some wearables like smart watches. You can also have smart cities. You can have smart retail as well, right? So there are many types of applications available on IoT devices. B stands for big data analytics. So here, as you can see, there will be a lot of users. There will be many IoT devices. So you will have large amounts of data, and based on that data, anyone can do anything, right? You can make relative comparisons. You can run algorithms on the data and optimize resources based on that data. When we talk about C, it refers to connectivity and communication. As I told you, there are many devices that are connected according to the internet, and based on that connection, optimization is possible, right? As you can observe here, we have a gateway. There are several devices that are connected to the internet, and there can be various types of algorithms on the internet through which the most suitable solutions can be provided to the user here. And when we talk about D, it refers to those devices that are smart here, right? Like you can talk about mobile phones and smartwatches. Smart devices are available, such as smart sunglasses. There are many more applications available, so these devices are continuously becoming even smarter because of IoT. The reason for this is that by using sensors, we are sending data to the internet, and through the internet, we can access practical situations in the best possible manner. Right now, I am going to discuss the history of IoT, which actually began a long time ago. In 1982, when Carnegie Mellon researchers connected a vending machine to the internet so that they could remotely check the availability of cold soda. And in fact, it was a soda machine, and it was remotely controlled in 1982. Then, in the 1990s, the first toaster was operated via the internet. Later, in 1999, the term Internet of Things was coined by Kevin Ashton. This was during a presentation given to Procter & Gamble in 1999, right? Then in 2000, LG introduced the first smart refrigerator. In 2004, the smartwatch was introduced. In 2007, Apple released the smart iPhone and the wearable Fitbit. In 2009, Google started testing self-driven cars. In 2011, the smart TV was introduced. In 2013, Google Lens was released and many applications were launched, right? So in 2014, Echo caused a surge in the smart home market, and in this way, many applications have been upgrading over time. Right, now in 2023, IoT is in huge demand and many people are accessing Internet of Things devices to optimize their lives. They are enjoying their journey in this world. I hope you are getting all those things related to IoT from the introduction. If you have anything related that you want to share, please note it in the comment section. I will be happy to help you. Thank you for watching the video.